Hi guys, good morning and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest and very funny episode of Star Trek Lower Decks, which just dropped earlier today on Paramount Plus. I just got done watching it. Now before I go on, of course, please be warned, as usual with most of my episode review videos, this is a spoiler-filled episode review, so if you haven't seen the latest and newest episode of Star Trek Lower Decks, you do not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be going into spoilers, plot details, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. So it dawned on me that almost every iteration of Star Trek has always had a recurring enemy or antagonist, and usually, with these shows, you always have, sometimes you could have different enemies from different races pop up here and there and causing trouble and mayhem. But there's always a recurring antagonist. The original series, it was the Klingons. Deep Space Nine, it was the Cardassians and the Dominion. In Next Generation, it was the Romulans and the Ferengi. And, in Discovery, the first season, they had the Klingons. In season 2, they had Control. And then in season 3, it was all about finding out the source of the burn. And so in this show, I guess our recurring or big antagonists are the somewhat humorous, although still somewhat dangerous Pakleds, because, they proved to be quite the disruptive source back in season 1, especially in that awesome season 1 finale. And then they continue to have a presence throughout this second season as well. So it makes sense that a show that's meant to be much more lighthearted and much humorous and funny and energetic like Lower Decks would have a villain to boot, a villain that would be matched to their level. So if the Pakleds have to be that villain, that's fine with me, because they've been an interesting opposing force for our characters, because they're just so stupid and yet they can still kick ass at the same time. But I also liked how that this plot point throughout this episode was kind of like dealing with a diplomatic peace-seeking mission that the other shows have done many times before in the past. Picard did it plenty of times. Kirk had to do it a couple of times. Janeway did it a couple of times. Christ, Janeway had to negotiate an alliance with the Borg. So it's nothing out of the ordinary for a starship captain. But I also liked the funny subplot as well, where the Lower Decks crew were stuck getting rid of all of the unusual anomalies that the crew has come across during their deep space missions. I didn't recognize anything as obvious or subtle Easter eggs or references. Nothing was really striking my memory or coming back to me. It was just a bunch of cool looking stuff that made them do all sorts of weird things. And I think all the things that happened to the Lower Decks crew is, stuff that's happened, we've seen throughout the franchise, has happened to other characters whenever they encounter something weird and it affects them temporarily before they get cured of it. So this was still a good episode, and also good to Boimler for standing up to the stuck-up crew who were referring to themselves as the Red Shirts. That was hilarious, because it's like they're trying to sound all dignified and badass, but they call themselves the Red Shirts. Even Boimler is like, you call yourselves Red Shirts? So that was hilarious. But I love that Boimler stuck with his friends and stuck to himself in the end by telling off that prick who was like trying to tell him to, keep his inner social circle, reflective of his future career as a Starfleet captain. But he's like, no, man, screw that. These are my friends. And, Boimler actually did do everything right. He took action where all those guys just tried to pose and make inspirational speeches without actually doing anything. So, funny episode. I liked it a lot. I hope you guys did too. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. Thank you for watching. I hope this show has been as fun for you as it is for me. We still have a couple more episodes to go before this season ends, and I hope you'll be sticking around with me to watch all of those as well. Have an awesome rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for watching and stopping by. And of course, until next time, live long and prosper.